It's low key, and I say I am, you know who I am. Today's topic: we were never taught how to be adults. The majority of us, is monkey see, monkey do. We just learn from as far as how to treat our significant other, our partner, the person we claim to love. A lot of us just learn from our parents. A lot of us just adopted our parents' behaviors and shit like that. So that's why when you see a lot of people that their parents had no business being together in a relationship, had no business bringing children into this world, should have been got divorced a long ass time, years and years before, but they're so trifling, they're so selfish and narcissistic and shit like that, that they make up this lie, this narrative in their head that, you know, let's stay together for the child, but all you did was destroy, you continue to destroy that child year after year after year after year, being exposed to that toxic environment. Let's have a real conversation, you know what I'm saying? There's grown women out here that literally they cannot maneuver in a healthy relationship simply because they were surrounded by two toxic, they were just surrounded by, because here's the thing, right? You can have a person, you can have two good people in a relationship that just don't understand each other, that just don't fit, and each person could bring out, the toxic traits, you know what I'm saying, of each other. And so you got grown women out here that were raised in an environment like that, and they're fucking scared to death to even be in a relationship, to get in a healthy relationship. So they'll do the same exact thing. They'll cling on to a toxic piece of shit dude. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's just their, uh, unfortunately, that's their comfort zone. Vice versa. The things that I've been through, the relationships I've never met in my 33 years in this life, I've never met what I would consider like not a crazy bitch. I'm like a magnet for crazy. I don't know. People say, you are what you manifest or some shit like that. You're attracting the things that you are. But I'm like, damn, like I know I'm crazy, but it's like I'm not like the motherfuckers I attract. Is like I'm not that type of crazy. It's levels to crazy. I'm like I'm not even on that motherfucker. You know what I mean? I don't even have the access to the clearance to that level of crazy. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck am I attracting this type of crazy? But you know, I don't think I've ever in my entire life been with somebody that's like, the majority of relationships I've been in, the girl I'm with is just like, if we get into an argument, they just ready to leave. They just like, I'm done, I'm gone, whatever. Or, they're ready to discard me like I'm fucking trash and shit. Never. I don't think I've ever been in a relationship. Maybe one time where like a female was like, we need to work this out. We need to figure this out. We need to try to understand each other so we can make this work. Other than that, I've never been with a chick that's like the normal script is just like, from a female, when me and her not seeing eye to eye, when we're not speaking the same language energetically, let's have a real conversation. It's normally the same thing. It's just like, well, maybe we need to end this or stop talking. And it's just like it just becomes so corny after a while. It becomes so like so just lazy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to throw people away. You know what I mean? It's easy to throw somebody away. It's hard to try to understand them. It's easy to just blame somebody for your unhappiness. It's hard to evolve. It's hard to grow. Let's have a real conversation. So it's like, I say that, you know, they never taught, our parents never taught us how to fucking be adults and interact and communicate properly, and that's what this society wants anyway. This society, you know, these eugenicists and these clown ass assholes that play God without permission, they want us all, the last thing they want is a society of healthy human beings that communicate properly. Let's have a real conversation, bro. Because if that was the case, you know, we be living, the entire simulation would blow up. The entire simulation would blow up, you know. But it becomes very, very difficult the older you get, and you just like, damn, like I thought that being an adult would be different, but all it feels like is it's just a bunch of children with wrinkles in their face that don't know how to conduct basic communication skills and don't know how to properly, you know, love on each other. Let's have a real conversation. So that's the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. But it's very disturbing. It's very sad. It's very pathetic. And you know, like I said, I'm not perfect or nothing like that. You know, I still have work to do on myself. But it's just really sad that it's just like, you know, nobody ever taught us how to be adults. Nobody ever taught us, you know, it's just a bunch of people out here. We're just a bunch of people out here that are just broken and traumatized. And, you know, we're just desperate for, you know, we're desperate to find somebody. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, how can you find somebody when it's like, it's just a dating pool. It's just full of people that are just, they're just, everybody's all, it's like we on the battlefield. You know, everybody's all fucked up, scarred up, broken legs, arms, you know, faces hanging off and shit. You know, it's like a spiritual battlefield as well. You know, how can you find somebody under those conditions, man? Let's have a real conversation, man. You know, it is what it is, man.